everyone, I'm Khushbu Jha. I'm the founder of Buy Properly. Buy Properly is a platform for fractional investing. What we allow is our customers to be able to invest in a small fraction of a house. So for example, if you had a condo that was $400,000 and you cannot put together the down payment, you can invest 40K in it and get 10% of the house. And we manage all the property hassles, rentals, all of that for you. So that's what we do. And today we have with us an astute real estate advisor and investor, Harrison Milborne. Harrison is part of the Milborne Group. He has 16 plus years of experience in the industry, and we wanted to take his views on what he thinks of the real estate market in Toronto. So welcome to our office, Harrison, and thank you for coming over. We would love to hear your views and your experience and your career journey so far in the real estate industry.
Sure, Khushbu. Thank you for the introduction. Thanks for having me here. So my background and training is in pre-construction condominium development sales. That's what our group focuses on primarily, specifically high-rise developments in the GTA as well as internationally. And my educational background is I hold a Bachelor of Community Design from the School of Dalhousie University, which is kind of like an urban planning degree. So I have kind of a broad knowledge of the topic.
Great. So talking about that, what do you think about the condo market in Toronto, and where do you see the prices trending over the next 2 to 3 years?
So the condo market in Toronto is what I call a very robust market. Pricing has been, continuing to climb over the last several years, and I have indication that it's probably going to continue to do the same in the future. The main reason for this is because of affordability. So the average condo price in Toronto and the GTA is $650,000, whereas the average price for a single-family detached home is $1.5 million. So the price gap itself is such that it makes condominium purchasing way more affordable and much more attractive. Additionally, there is a significant number of new immigrants and new residents coming to the city every year, approximately between 50 to 70,000 annually. At the same time, we're only building about 15 to 20,000 new condominiums and homes every year, so there's simply not enough supply to meet the demand.
That's so true. Like when we at Buy Properly were analyzing condos, we found that in GTA, the vacancy rate is less than 1%, and which explains why rentals are going up and people struggle to find rental houses in Toronto. Sticking to the topic of affordability, government has launched this first-time home buyer incentive program where they are offering cash for down payment to help people with the down payment in return for equity share. What are your views on that one and the efficacy of that program?
So I believe that this program, while it's well intended, only affects positively a very small percentage of the population, and certainly not very many in large urban centers. So in Toronto, Vancouver, and Montreal, for example, the average purchase price, as I just mentioned, for condos in Toronto is $650,000. For homes is $1.5 million. The program simply, you wouldn't qualify for it as the average buyer. The program is capped at $480,000 based on $120,000 a year salary. So it simply, isn't practical for the major urban centers where we're seeing a lot of new growth and development.
Right, and talking about incentives and programs, I think in terms of innovation in real estate, like we at Buy Properly are trying to do a lot of AI algorithms and trying to bring together customers for a new kind of a platform and a new form of investing. In your opinion, what areas in real estate in the next 5 to 10 years would benefit most from innovative technologies?
Okay, so education is the biggest one for me. Having buyers and sellers better educated in the marketplace means the marketplace stays robust and stays healthy. And I think these AI platforms that you're talking about, especially with Buy Properly, are a great way to get access to data that the average consumer or the average researcher wouldn't have access to. So it means a much healthier market across the board. Additionally, new technology can streamline processes, so we can have transactions happening smoother, cheaper, and easier across the board. Additionally, I would say, the virtual world allows us to market and sell properties that we wouldn't otherwise be able to on an international or global scale, whereas the old-fashioned method would be to see something in person. So having, newly designed virtual tour products is really important for the health of the industry too.
Sure. And you are an avid investor yourself. You invest a lot in real estate. So what do you as an investor look for when you're buying real estate for yourself?
Sure. So number one is price and affordability. So attractive price is going to attract a lot of attention, but sometimes, especially using the data like you're talking about with Buy Properly, you can identify places where there is value. So places with value and affordability are places that I focus on. Location, location, location is the old saying in real estate. Anything with close proximity to public transit, especially subway, in good neighborhoods, and places that have no limit in terms of the ceiling for price appreciation. And the final one, especially for condominiums, would be things like view and floor plan or layout, because anything that affects the future saleability is an important aspect to consider when you're purchasing.
Awesome. And talking about Buy Properly, we enable people to be able to invest in a share or a fraction of the property. And I've come to know that you've done some fractional investing yourself. So what's your experience and what's your belief in fractional investing?
So I think fractional investing is actually wonderful. The biggest thing for me personally is that you get to share the risk, with other people. So you put less money down, and you're able to actually do more with it. Another thing that's a huge benefit in my mind is you don't have to manage the place yourself. So when you're dealing with a group, somebody else manages the nuts and bolts of the operation, so to speak.
That's great. Thank you for coming over. And before we leave, what are some of the advice and tips that you would like to provide to our customers?
I would say don't wait to buy real estate and wait. And there's only two ways to lose money in real estate, and that's buying more than you can afford and selling at the wrong time.
Thank you very much, Harrison.
Very welcome.